Welcome back, everybody, to the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Today I want to start with a question, and I want to ask you if you've ever felt actually physically sick from taking a bad beat, because we've all been there. And in today's hand, I'm going to show you an example, and on so many different levels, it's unlucky. So try to follow along, and I think the biggest takeaway today is going to be, what do you do after you take the bad beat? It's going to happen to everybody. Do you give up? Do you buy in too much later on? How does it affect you? Because ideally, it's just like losing any other hand, and ideally we are moving on without worrying about it too much. But I thought I'd take a hand here to show you how bad it can really get. So I have 320,000 chips. We're relatively deep in a tournament here. The blinds are 2,000, 4,000, so I'm a large stack. And I'm dealt pocket aces. Now, obviously, deep in the tournament like this, getting closer to the final table, you get pocket aces. A lot of players are moving all in, so it's very, very strong. It's a hand you're excited to get. Obviously, you can lose, but as a poker player, you're trying to get all in, and this is a premium hand according to the poker model. So Under the Gun moves all in for 80 grand, which is 20 big blinds, and obviously I'm very excited about that. There's really no hand, obviously, that is beating me, and a lot of times with pocket aces, you won't get any action at all. You'll just raise and everybody will fold, and it's kind of like a dead hand. But the fact that Under the Gun is moving all in with 80K is very exciting. And then even more exciting, but also a little bit scary, is the fact that another player moves all in behind him for a larger amount of chips. So this player is isolating the all in, and with pocket aces, obviously I'm going to call. Now the all in is 300,000, so essentially I'm going to be on when I call. But as a poker player, this is what I have to do, and most of the time I'm going to win this. Even if I lose to the player that moved on for 80K and I beat the player who went on for 300K, I'm still making money on this hand. So really, I only have to beat that one player, but it's likely that I'll beat both based on the odds. So for that reason, I move all in. And interestingly enough, the big blind also decides to call behind me. Now, now there's a lot of players in the pot, and I should still win the hand like we talked about before. But what's really frustrating right out of the gate is that the big blind called with king-queen suited. So this is one of those calls that's kind of like playing bingo. He doesn't really care about his tournament life. He's hoping to get lucky. And he's seeing king-queen suited as a monster hand pre-flop, which it really isn't. It's just king high. So this is one of those hands where the big blind has no business being in the hand. The player with pocket nines from Under the Gun with 20 big blinds, that's a reasonable all in. I can respect that. The player with pocket queens going all in over the top to isolate the hand with the nines, I respect that too. You can see that if there were no hands behind pocket queens, he'd be 80% to win the pot. But unfortunately for both of them, I pick up pocket aces and I'm dominating everyone. We have this fourth player in the hand, though, that really shouldn't even be in there, but he makes the call as well. So now we're over $1 million in the pot. I have the best hand in the game, and I should win, but there are so many players in the pot, and even this call from the big blind, it kind of skews the odds a little bit. But let's see what runs out. I've done everything that I can as a poker player. I'm sure you can kind of see where this is going based on the title of the article. A king comes on the flop, nothing on the turn, and another king on the river. So the big blind, who pretty much put his whole tournament at risk with king, queen, and 3 other all-ins in front of him, wins, has over 1 million chips, knocks out 3 players, and we're all sick about it. So the whole point of this article today is to understand that really players will do anything with any 2 cards. You and I would not be making that call with king, queen. And, if we check the stats on this player, it's most likely that he is not a winning player by making plays like this. So he's having fun. He's doing that. Maybe he did think it was a good call. it really doesn't matter. The point is, the money went in, I had pocket aces, and unfortunately, not only did I lose, but I lost to a player who shouldn't have even been in the hand. I would have beat both the 9s and the queens, and I would have had a huge stack afterwards. So really, stay disciplined. There's no reason to jump across the table and, want to fight this person. He made a move, whatever. You're feeling a little sick afterwards, but it'll pass, and, you'll be in another situation like this, and, you'll win. So keep your cool. Thanks for checking in today. We'll see you on the next one. As always, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. For more training tools and Texas Hold'em advice, subscribe to our YouTube channel or pay us a visit at thepokermodel.com to see our weekly articles, bi-weekly podcasts, and other episodes of the Poker Model Hand Breakdown. Until next time.